Alright, I was just reminded we're on a tight schedule as I was telling kids that they're scholars and such. Hey, who's going to be a scholar tomorrow on the test? I've got one more question. Raise your hand if you're attending an after-school study party today or the before study party tomorrow. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Determine whether the equation represents direct variation. Allie was like, I kind of forget what direct variation is, so everybody jot this down. It's y equals mx. Notice, there's no b. There's no b because the y-intercept is 0. So right off the bat, one of these I can see is not touching at 0, 0. Which one? 23. So 23 is not direct variation. 22 is, because it's touching here at 0, 0. So all we need to do is figure out the slope. Since it's graphed, I would probably just count the slope. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The slope is 3 over 2. Is it a positive or a negative 3 over 2? Good job. Show me your positive slope arms real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Negative slope arms. 0 slope arms. Undefined. Very good. All right, thumbs up when you're ready. 23 was a no because it didn't touch at 0, 0. Caspian?
1 should be 2 over 3 because it goes up 2 and over 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
No, I'm sorry, I thought we were on 23.
Oh, okay, so 23, we squelched it and didn't even count the slope. Do you know why? Didn't touch 0, 0. Right. But you're right. It would have been a 2/3 slope. Yeah.
Why did that touch 0?
24, evaluate the function for the given value of x. Who wants to take my pen and explain it to the video how you're going to do it?
8 and 1. I don't know what I'm doing.
Anthony.
Let's go. I think I know.
You record.
So you can put a y, and then 4 times negative 3 plus 6. So you do negative 12 plus 6, and then y would equal negative 6.
Very good. Record.
Alright, so you do 8 for the y equals negative 2x
Talk louder.
6. And then you're going to subtract the 6 to the 8. Oh my goodness. Sorry.
Okay. If you like the eraser flat.
Oh.
There we go.
Subtract the 6. Get 2. Is it 0?
Negative 1.
Negative 1.
Because you divide both sides by negative 2. All right, so this is function notation stuff. It's all going to be multi-step problems. I'll do 26 with you, and we'll have a volunteer do 27. What you're going to do is first you're going to find f of negative 2. So you put a negative 2 in the f equation right about here. What is 2 times negative 2 plus 4? It is 0. So the answer for f of negative 2 is 0. You're going to do the same thing with g of 0. You're going to put a 0 in equation g right about there. What is 0 squared minus 1? Negative 1. And then you're going to take these two results and you're going to subtract them. There's a subtraction sign right here. So my final answer is 0 minus a negative 1, which is 1. So you almost have to do 3 steps. You have to find f of negative 2, you have to find g of 0, then you have to subtract them. Okay? Who would like to come do 27? Okay, you're on record. All right, he's on record.
So we'll do this to the power of 2, and then that'll be still 1, and then that'll be 1 minus 1. That will be 0.
So what he got was g of 1 equals 0, and that is correct. Continue.
Okay, and then you have f and 8, so it'll be 2 times 8. Oh, you didn't see that. Yeah. It'll be 2 times 8. Okay. And you get 16. And then it'll be plus 4. and that'll be 20.
Good.
So the answer will be 20 since the other one is 0.
He's right. So g of 1 was 0, f of 8 was 20, and then he had to do 0 plus 20, and 0 plus 20 is still 20. Good job. Alright, we're going to put a 6 in for f of x. So 2 times 6 plus 4, what's that end up being? 16. Then you're going to do g of negative 2. So you'll make sure you square the negative 2 with parentheses, subtract off 1. What's that end up being? 3, because negative 2 squared is 4, and 4 minus 1 is 3. Now at the very end, you take your two results and you multiply them, because they have a little multiply sign right here. 48. Okay. Hey, I was helping somebody on the Polaris assignment, and there was one like this in Polaris. Basically, they're saying the y-intercept of the graph is 3. So if they solve this equation, they get 3. What would A have to be so that y would end up being 3? 10. If A is 10 and I solve for y, I divide both sides by 10 and I get 3, right? So it's really just thinking through it. Multiple choice is 10. Does that make sense? Because a y-intercept would have an x value of 0, so really this part of the equation doesn't make any difference whatsoever. Yeah? Okay. This also appears to be a multiple choice question. Let's just refresh domain and range. Which one's x, which one's y? Range is y. So the way I remember is alphabetical order. D comes before R in the alphabet. X comes before Y in the alphabet. So we just got to pick what's true. Is that maybe there's more than one that's true? I'm not sure yet. The domain is looking like it's going from 2 to 4. That's choice A. The range looks like it's going from 2 to 5. Do they have anything saying that? No. So it's just A. I was thinking maybe it was one of those where there's more than one answer. Yeah. All right, we've arrived at what I think is probably the most difficult problem on here. We want line 1 and line 2 to be parallel. What do you know about parallel? We need them to have the same slope. Now here's the trouble. We don't know this guy here, this M. It's our job to find him. So here's the game plan. We always talk about having a game plan. What's our game plan?
Will we do like the 2 or the y2?
Yes. So we're going to do y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2, and we're going to figure out that our slope of line 1 is negative 4 over 3. I need my slope of line 2 to also be negative 4 over 3. Okay? Yeah?
But can we do it like y? Or like the wait, what we still do?
Oh, it'll be negative 2.
Good job. I'm not there yet. So we're going to do y minus y over x minus x. And we're going to see what line 2 gives us. Line 2 would give us m plus 2 over negative 8. So I know that this has to match this.
Oh, so we're gonna have.
I'm actually going to set up a proportion. Let me make myself more space. I'm going to need more space. So I know line 1 slope is negative 4/3. I know my line 2 slope is m plus 2 over negative 8, and I know they have to be equal. So that's why I'm setting up a proportion. How are we doing so far? I told you this was a long one.
Wait,
Hold on a sec. So I'm about to solve this proportion. One thing I do need to group is group my m plus 2 like so. Proportions, you do cross multiplication. So 3 times m plus 2 equals negative 4 times negative 8. It's a proportion. We did this back in chapter 2, I think. Maybe chapter 1. What's negative 4 times negative 8? And then I'm going to distribute this 3 in. So it's going to be 3m plus 6. We'll go ahead and subtract 6 of both sides. Get 3m equals 26. Is this going to be a fraction? What did you end up getting? 8.6 something? I'll just leave it 26 over 3. This is a multiple choice question. Maybe there'll be more than one answer. Let's take a peek. select all equations below that represent direct variation. Now the way I remember this is direct variation has an x and a y and no other crap. No intercept, okay? So we only want things with x's and y's. Ray, what do you think?
A.
A is definitely 1. What about B?
No.
No, that -2 ruined it. What about C? No, the 8 ruined it. What about D?
Yeah.
And what about E?
Yeah.
Alright, well let me graph it to see.
Oh.
If I would graph y equals 9, it would look like this. It's not passing through 0, 0. Direct variation has to pass through 0, 0. So I'm going to go with a no on that. Now if it had been y equals 0, I'd go ahead and say maybe we have a case. Because we're going through 0, 0.
See, Jagger, you so
Be nice. We're on video right now. It says, find the equation of these lines in slope-intercept form. So 2 things we need to find, the intercept and the slope. Now the intercept is living on the y-axis. Where's the intercept on this one? 4. And so let me stick that into my equation. So it's y equals mx plus b, where b is the intercept and m is the slope. Now we got to count out our slope. Rise over run. It looks like we rise 2. How many are we running? 5. Rise 2, run 5. Now is it a positive or a negative 2 over 5? Think about your slope arms. Negative. It's going downhill from left to right. So slope dude would say nice negative.
We should watch the Slope Dude again.
We should watch Slope Dude one last time to get you ready for tomorrow. The next one does have a positive slope. Thank you, Brooke. How many up and how many over are we running? 3 over 4. And then what's our y-intercept? Good. Hey, well, thanks for watching the video. We'll probably end the day with a nice short video of Slope Dude to get them prepared for tomorrow. Bye.